Hello, this is Tom Brewer, President of your Charlotte Firefighters Association, Local 660. 2021, we promised you more transparency, more information. We're going to give you more information. We're going to let you know all the issues that we are addressing. And so with that being said, let's hit the ground running and let's get going. In recent weeks, actually I say weeks, but if you go back to July, we started raising concerns about workers' compensation. In the recent weeks, those concerns have risen even more. And Local 660 wants to be perfectly clear. We are not giving advice on workers' compensation, whether you should take it or whether you shouldn't. What we are saying is, every case is different. Your situation may be different than someone else's. And there's a lot of factors involved. However, one thing we are saying is there has to be some clarity in what is going on. We started raising these questions in July. We got no answers. We started asking questions of who's in charge of workers' comp for the fire department, who's the point of contact between the fire department and risk management, when we were told risk management was involved. Then we were told Sedgwick was involved. We've tried getting answers from risk management, and we get nothing. We get stonewalled. And in the recent weeks, we have had firefighters that got $100 checks, $70 checks, or $40 checks because they were put on workers' comp without their knowledge. If you're going to do that, at least tell the employee. Let the employee know, hey, we put you on workers' comp. But that hasn't happened. And the reason the employee didn't know they were on workers' comp is because 409s have been changed. The only ones that can change your 409s are your direct supervisor. All right, that's policy. We've been told it's federal law. There was a police officer fired last year from CMPD who changed payroll. But if we're going to do that, and if the fire department's going to say, if the city's going to say that we're erring on the side of caution, which may very well be the case when it comes to putting people on workers' comp, well, let the people know. Let the people know who's in charge. Let them know who the point of contact is. And for God's sakes, if you're going to change their payroll, let them know. I mean, what if you had, your mortgage payment, your vehicle payment, or something coming out of a check? You need to know that. And all of these things we're doing, we can pay the employee in full and come back and do workers' comp later. And if we know there's an issue because, we've blamed Sedgwick, we've blamed risk management. Well, if we know there's an issue, what have we done to fix it? Think about that. This goes back to July. It happened multiple times in December. Now it's happened in January. But rather than take accountability, we hear about accountability in the staff meetings. Oh, this is the year there's going to be accountability. If you don't do your 409s, if you get caught in a puffy coat, we're going to hold you accountable. There's going to be write-ups. Well, what about the accountability for this? Sisters and brothers, accountability starts at the top. What if that was your payroll that came out at $40 or $70? There's no excuse for that. Not if we're looking after the employee. We can't say we're looking after the employee as far as putting them on workers' comp without their knowledge and then give them a $40 or $70 check. It's not the way it works. And when we know there's an issue, we have to be accountable. It's okay to make mistakes, but let's own it. Let's fix it. Let's not assign blame. We got to quit this always blaming somebody else's fault. Oh, it's their fault. It's, it's never our fault. It's never the, management's fault. We always have to assign blame. Workers' comp's been around a long time. This ain't nothing new. The pandemic may be new. Workers' comp isn't new, brothers and sisters. Why are we the only department in the city doing it this way? Why isn't CMPD? Why isn't CDOT? Why isn't aviation? Why are we the only ones doing this to our members? These are questions we've all asked and gotten zero answers. We've gotten a lot of blame now. We've got to blame other people. So let's fix it. All right, we've all acknowledged there's an issue, there's something wrong. Instead of assigning blame, let's fix it. Say, hey, we got to correct this moving forward. Let's figure out who's in charge. Tell us who's in charge, the point of contact, and let's move forward. Speaking of accountability, another issue that has come up is once again promotions. At the Civil Service Board meeting in January, the HR director said that The fire chief is the individual who extends promotional list. Now, the reason this has come up is because there has been a complaint filed on the divisional chief process that the list was expired, that the fire department in their correspondence said it was good for 6 months. And all correspondence from city HR said the list was good for 6 months. And the HR director had to go to the civil service board and extend it. The HR director told me in an email she did not extend the list. But yet they told the civil service board, the fire department, the fire chief was responsible for extending the list. Now here's where it gets complicated. Well, not really complicated. Under depositions, the fire chief said when asked who extends the list in these promotional lawsuit depositions that are going on, he said the HR director 8 days after the civil service board meeting. But during the civil service board meeting, he didn't speak up and say, HR Director Simpson, I think there's some confusion. I believe you're responsible. They sat there silently. Now, there were people in the division chief process. They said, yeah, they knew the list was expired. They didn't know who was going to file a complaint, whether it would be the union or an individual or a grievance. Again, I'm going to hammer this home. Quit assigning blame. Don't blame the union for complaining. Don't blame the individual for complaining. If you know the list was expired, let's fix it. If you got to run another process, you run another process. If you have to go to them and see if they'll extend the list, even though it did it, do it. But quit making excuses. The HR director saying the fire chief's responsible and the fire department saying the fire chief saying the HR director is responsible. Again, that's not accountability. That's passing the buck. That's blaming. This is supposed to be the year of accountability. Accountability starts at the top. And just like it starts at the top of this organization, we make a mistake, we own it. Move forward, get better. That's all we want to see. It's okay for people to make mistakes, but quit quit blaming other people for your mistakes. One other issue I definitely want to address, and we're working on a little more formal response. We had sent an email regarding closing the training academy. Again, we are not the only ones who raised this issue. I know battalion chiefs have. I believe health and safety may have. I'm not sure on that one. But, departments around the country have raised the issue and have closed academies. Accreditation, ISO said that they understand that there's going to be the need for in-service training is going to be curtailed this year. And again, we are not saying don't train. We are saying, hey, let's not have these social gatherings out of an abundance of caution. Just like the abundance of caution we made as a department when we closed the general office. To limit exposure, like the city of Charlotte did, to limit exposure. We are looking out for our members. That's it. But one thing I know that a lot of you have reached out, and I took personal offense to, was the response saying that we're bringing COVID in from home. Again, here we are blaming again. It ain't our fault. It's really limited contact at the academy. The problem is you're bringing it from home. Let's quit assigning blame. It's a global pandemic. COVID is everywhere. It's not just from our homes. It's in fire stations. It's at the training academy. They've had to, quarantine the recruit classes multiple times. So we know it's real. We know it's there. But once again, we assign blame and we blame the firefighters from bringing it home. It's a global pandemic. That's why in May we said, hey, let's treat this as a workplace exposure so we wouldn't be in this situation. Let's treat it as presumptive that we got it at work. That's looking out for your brothers and sister firefighters, not blaming them from bringing it from home. So, we're working on those issues. Also, the International Convention starts this week. We started a memorial Facebook page. There's some more information about that in our newsletter where we can honor those brothers and sisters who have passed away and kind of remember them. So more information on that in the newsletter. And also, we've started a thing on our website with all the issues we are addressing. You asked for more transparency. We are going to give you more transparency. And so all the issues are there. If you want to read them, read them. We just want to give you information as those are the kind of issues we've been addressing. So let me see if I got anything else in my notes. I think I hit on majority of the stuff. Again, a lot of this stuff's in the newsletter. Stay informed. Know the information. If you have an issue, contact us. We will try to help you. But let's Let's unify. Let's come together in 2021 and let's speak as one voice as firefighters. Let's grow this union. Let's grow our voice. Stay strong, stay union. Thank you. Be safe.